When did you realize your friend was toxic? When I realized I felt dread every time their message icon popped up. I feel you there. Every time my phone text sound goes off and I look at certain names I cringe a little. But mostly just for people from work. If you feel that way about a friend or significant other, major red flag. Yes 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 yes. I felt so much anxiety. I'd start thinking about what I might have said to make this person mad or annoyed and hoping for a positive message. When he brought his totally cool friends over, and then they stole some of my stuff and he defended them. Did they steal weed? I feel like these types of strangers always steal your weed. iPod, and a money clip with maybe $20, $30 in it. My condolences for your iPod. When he started defining friendships as people who are blindly loyal to him and his actions. Is your friend Dutch van der Linde? She told me she was cheating on her husband, while laughing about how funny it was that her boyfriend would come over to the house and hang out with her husband and her and their newborn. After I told her that wasn't cool and we weren't friends anymore, she told everyone that I was sleeping with her husband and an abusive drunk. No to all. Happy ending. Dad divorced and got full custody. I got new friends. When she lied about having cancer. A few questions. 1. Was her name Brittany? 2. Do you feel me now? 3. Don't you know that toxic? No, no, yes. Why would you lie about such a thing? She was a habitual liar. We'd been friends since we were little kids and I always just excused her smaller lies because of her horrible childhood, but when she came out with that I had to end our then 25-year-long friendship. The worst part was that her mother and my uncle had just died of cancer, respectively. She tried to backtrack and say that the alleged leukemia was soon cured with a blood transfusion, which of course is utter nonsense. I am still sad about it. But I can't abide that level of lying. I was considering suicide and he was encouraging me to do it. When they stole my Adderall prescription, tried to help me find it, it was stolen during a party we threw, then spent the next few weeks staying up until 8 a.m. playing FIFA like that was something totally normal. Have you seen my Adderall? No man. I've been awake 27 hours straight alphabetizing the canned goods. HMMMMM. She started copying me. Everything about me. It was something straight out of Single White Female. She started using my frequent phrases, tried to pick up all my hobbies, and started dressing exactly like me. The final straw was when she started getting really possessive when I would hang out with people without her and tried to turn me against all my other friends. We aren't friends anymore, but everyone tells me she's still obsessed with me and talks about how I abandoned her to anyone who will listen. How long has it been? 4 years. When he had drug runners coming through our apartment all hours of the day, night. Also he had a 15-year runaway staying with him, and that's when I moved out. Less than a month later he was arrested and charged with statutory rape. Many things, but when she refused to come to my wedding because she hadn't had weight loss surgery yet and didn't want to look fat and frumpy on my wedding day. That was the culmination that led to me severing ties. She used to refer to me as her Duff, the designated ugly fat friend. Then as we grew up, I slimmed down and grew into my appearance rather nicely, and she did the opposite, which infuriated her. She tried to make up a dozen excuses as to why she couldn't be my maid of honor. She couldn't afford to travel to my wedding. I offered to pay for it all. She couldn't afford the dress, which I also pay for my bridesmaids' dresses. Then when she went on a very lavish and expensive trip to a resort and posted photos on FB, I called her out. That's when she said she didn't want to go and be in pictures because she was having gastric surgery and my wedding was too soon for her to be hot in my wedding line. Heartbreak.x. At that point, our other mutual friend melted down and literally listed all the ways my best friend was a frenemy and toxic. Feels bad man. When she fake cried all night in the one bathroom, not the stall, of our friend's wedding. The whole evening people came up to the bride letting her know about the girl. The bride knew the girl was toxic, but only after the wedding invitations went out. Ruined my friend's wedding. When he kept on trying to jeopardize my sobriety, I would block his number, he would get a new one. I blocked him on all social media. He would create new accounts. I'm going on a year of being sober and to this day he stalks me and tries to get me to slip up. It's quite exhausting running from an abusive ex-BF, ex-dealer while trying to maintain my sanity and sobriety. Oh. And he was going to murder me. I wish he would just drop off the face of the earth. Meth is a hell of a drug. I never want to touch it or be around people that use it ever again. When she threatened to hurt herself if I didn't do what she wanted. She asked me if she could sleep over at my house one night. I told her no, since I had grandparents visiting the next day. She continued and tried to convince me to let her. She said that if I let her, she would stop cutting. But if I didn't, it would be my fault if she died. I didn't let her. I ditched her the same year. She's still alive to this day hopefully. She has a girlfriend and is moving out of town soon. I knew for a long time, but I was done trying the day he threw a knife at a mutual, close friend of ours during an argument. That argument started over whether you could correctly call the inside of a strawberry squishy. I think his argument was that the structure of a strawberry is too solid to be classified as squishy, but to be honest, he flipped a loaded ottoman before we really got to the root of the issue. When he destroyed the entire surface of my main Terraria world with rockets, his steam pick was a Pikachu with a Lenny face, so I really should have known sooner. When I moved states and they didn't notice, when I moved across the country I had a going away party, gave people a month's notice. The day of I couldn't find anyone to look after the dogs from one group, and the dog couple were alright from another. The party was at my mother's house at the beach where they could both stay and bring the dogs. When they made plans in front of me and didn't invite me, when I discovered that he wasn't a traumatized veteran, but had instead fabricated his entire military experience. He had never served at all. When I realized that I was afraid to tell her things because I didn't want to be judged and talked about behind my back. When she only made me feel bad. When I noticed she was a pathological liar, I gave birth to a pterodactyl. When she would never respect my boundaries but flipped out if I didn't conform to hers. When he started hitting me and calling me bad things, I can't get away because he always follows me. At least I'll be moving soon. Smile. When I realized that she never really included me or did anything for me. Or when she stabbed me in the arm, when he took out his firearm and pointed it at me. What about you? What tipped you off that your friends were toxic? Make sure to share these experiences with others that you feel might need it, or maybe share it with your own toxic friends. Cheers.